Yo, it's me, the Shirgi. Why are you back, you bunch of nerds? You just came crawling back. You can't get enough of me, can you? Okay. I have some ideas of what I'm gonna do today. I'm so tired. And you know why? It's because I didn't get my blueberry muffin today. It's the only reason. I watched the DVD today. Well, it's the last time anyone has ever done that. Because I went into the library and they have a big collection of DVDs there, and they had a DVD player. And so I watched one right there in the library. What a great time. I also took my camera and started walking 5 miles to the east. Some guy asked me if I was looking for a job, and I realized I might have looked like a wandering photographer looking for some kind of work, but that wasn't why I was doing it. Made me feel a little sad though, because it made me think other photographers have the problem of not having any work. Oh well. I'm not one of those. I just decided to pick up a camera and started walking in one direction, just to see what would happen. Not much though, because it turns out in that direction I was going, there's not a whole lot going on at, I don't know, 2 p.m. I really thought that would have been more, because that's downtown where stuff is happening. No one has work. Well, I guess, but it'd be weird to just take pictures of people at work. That's not compelling. So like there were people working, of course, but like again, that's not interesting. There's a lot of stuff that I gotta work on. And I'm not gonna work on them right now because I'm going to write some music. Michael and Lawson are in a voice chat right now, and I think Michael's playing the new Monster Hunter game that just came out. What a game. Don't know anything about it. Michael picked up on the combat pretty quickly. And I literally watched him do it in real time and I didn't understand it. I know it's like rock, paper, scissors, but with monsters, but there's a little more than that. That's all I know. But whatever. feel like Michael has every game in existence and he'll play them. He's always streaming himself playing it in our group chat. Beautiful. Okay. Listened to some music. I did. Got some inspiration. Lost it immediately after I fell asleep. And here I am. So I'm time to get to work. Okay, so this is where we were last time. I added a little bit after the stream, and I also increased the tempo of the whole thing. I think and I also changed the English horn solo to a clarinet solo. I think the faster tempo is better musically. I just think the arrangement was made for a slow pace, so then increasing it made it feel a little awkward. But I still think that the music is better suited towards a slightly faster tempo. I mean, I say slightly faster, it's at 45 right now, BPM. It was at like 35 or something, so I increased the tempo by 10 beats per minute. And I think it sounds a little better. And so I'll listen back to it. I'll listen back to the whole thing just so I can get an idea, and then I'll talk about what I'm going to change. I already have an idea of what I want to change, but I'll let you listen to it first. Okay, the audio got a bit strange at the end there, but it's probably fine. Nope, it's not fine. Well, that's not good. What in tarn? Okay, that sounds fine to me. I've been having a lot of sample rate issues with my microphone and stuff, and it's been very persistent. Your notification sounds are coming through, FYI. Great. That's not my notification sounds. Those are my system sounds. I think it's easier if I... I have custom sounds in my Windows install, so they have sounds. Ping. And even if my notification sounds did come through, I don't care. And so let's get to work on working on this. So again, like I said, this piano part was meant for a slower speed. So when it was sped up, it sounded a bit too awkward. It sounded a bit rushed. It sounds less improvised when it's sped up like this. Which I don't really like. I think it could be a little bit more fleshed out instead of more fantasy or less fantasy like it was before. So Still kind of want to keep it. I want, what do I want? Right around here, on the third part of this beat here. No, that's not quite right. And try this. Something in my soul is telling me this is the correct chord. But I don't know that for sure. And there's only one way to find out. And it's to listen to it, if my keybinds would all work. And try this. I would like an arpeggio downwards. No, that's not quite right. What chord is playing here? There's supposedly an A major chord. Can you go down a little bit slower, please? And also just be a bit louder while I'm listening to you. No, I don't like how much it lines up. Be a little bit faster, pretty please. Okay, I think that's all right. I don't think this accompaniment can go on any other instruments. I'm currently trying to imagine this on other instruments, but no other kind of arrangement is coming to me other than the piano that would work here. No, it has to be piano. Okay. A little quieter, please. Wait. Piano, shut up for a second. Shut up. I want to try you on the marimba and also the, well, yeah, the vibraphone. Where did it spawn in? Spawned in over there. High vibraphone. I want like a marimba and vibraphone thing going on here. So let me switch it to the sound I prefer. And let me be very expert at writing music and just move you to the marimba. Okay, maybe not that low. How low will the marimba go? I turn you a little bit up. Where am I? No, come back. There you go. And no, vibraphone, why can't you just be a tiny bit, you know, like I could just raise everyone, I guess. But I don't really like that. I would like you guys to be nice and together. I could do like this, I guess. Try this. But I don't like that as much. I guess I could put it all in the Telesta, which I'm pretty sure can play. And this will allow it anyway, and put you somewhere else for a sec. I'm not quite sure. Of course. Excuse me? Okay. I thought this might be a problem, but I was hoping it wouldn't be. Okay. Hopefully it's working alright now. Man. Why can't equipment that I get just work and not have to use some weird workarounds in order for it to do what I want? Anyway. Just... oh wait, I can't undo it because I closed the program to fix it. Good thing I saved this little arpeggio here. Let's continue to write this for marimba. Where's that bass clef? Doink. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to be very creative and just put these guys on the marimba because I'm very smart. Uh-oh. Those are some low marimba notes. It's probably fine. I'm also going to be maybe putting some of these fun chords in the vibraphone as well. I don't know actually. What in the world is going on here? Now marimba and the vibraphone don't have as much sustaining power as the piano, which is actually kind of... that's something I don't really like. Okay. And piano, you're coming back. I guess I'll just have to rewrite you to be better. I don't like this chord. I don't like this. Better. I like that. Okay. What a chord. I am thinking here that I want some, like, I'm okay with this pizzicato here in the beginning. I think actually I want these chords to be in the double bass instead of the cello. No parallel movement, y'all. I'm going to the interaction here between the second violins and the violas can be kept, but I want the first violins to play some chords, and I can just make them do easy because they'll be quiet anyway, so it's okay. Starting around here when the woodwind, or when this woodwind harmony is supposed to come in, is when I want the some other instruments to take over. So I'm gonna move you maybe to English horn. That's pretty high, but I can deal with it. I would like you to be in both clarinets, which are this clarinet part's currently being filled up. Nothing that I can't fix though. Bang. I'm a genius. The full magnitude of my orchestration genius has not been seen yet. But you are feeling it. Just make you a little louder. So I don't want the strings to play the full chord of this, so maybe they can play like just this and this, or yeah. These are defined as a seventh according to my own rules. I could have them play the third that's playing here, which would be interesting, I guess. Or yeah. So you and you. You move an octave down. I'll combine you two together. And I'm, again, very expertly just going to shove you in right here. I'll show you where to shove it. There you go. Let's get rid of those extraneous dynamics, which they seem to have combined, which is unheard of. Let's make sure you guys are playing Arco. I understand that you can't play this F, and it's really going to upset me, but I at least want to hear what this sounds like. Okay, that has in fact upset me. So, go back to what you were doing with your, nope, with the second violins over here. The same kind of difference, and I'll figure out how to do this. Can this part move up here to the violins? And the violas, you know, you can just do something else because, of course, I'm going to be very smart. Put you here. I didn't include any of the cool accidentals here, hence that sound. Um... Oh, what was that? No, I didn't mean to do that. If I were to solo these clarinets, bassoons, and the violas. What intonation? C natural, F natural, B flats. And then C natural and F natural again. Those are the only dynamics I gotta worry about. I think the thing is the viola is a bit too bright sounding. The cellos would be more soft, and they would mesh together well with the woodwinds, but the viola just doesn't, at least in this case. It might fare a little better with a bassoon or even a saxophone, but I'm thinking here with the clarinets, it's just not working the way I want it to for this. But let me at least hear it. Okay, well... Okay, that sounded about as good as I thought it would, which is not at all. What are you doing all the way down here in E? Oh, you're trying to copy what this guy's doing? Well, that doesn't seem very productive for a violin, now does it? Can you just play what the other guy's doing and call it a day? Accordicis, you can play an A, that's fine. No. Yes. can you do sort of the same thing that you had going on over here? What's this? F sharp augmented. So I wrote here F natural. Am I reading this wrong? F sharp augmented. Is that what chord is playing here? No, it's just normal F augmented. So that would be flat 3 augmented. There you go. Which means F. Oh man. C sharp B. That's fine. Listen to it pretty quick. Maybe. Let me finish writing in some of these celesta parts first. Feels like maybe right after the second beat or on the fourth beat is where it needs another celesta slide. Or maybe right on the third. Use a plugin to annotate the Roman numerals. Nope. In MuseScore, the program I'm using, what I do is I go to, well, there's a feature, but I use a shortcut. Add Roman numeral analysis. I use the Shift R for Roman. I just press Shift R and type whatever I want. There's a few special symbols, like B is flat, and then sharp, of course, is the pound symbol. I think O is diminished, 0 is half diminished. You can also use Arabic numerals. Is there any more? You can put minus if you're into that. There's gotta be more. Flat, double flat probably. Yeah. Is there double sharp? Oh, there sure is. I mean, I don't know when you'd ever write a double sharp chord. I mean, you'd use double sharps, but like a double sharp 3, double sharp 1. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, right. A U. I want it to fall here, right on the fourth beat. Good. Don't have another one. I don't like that. Starts to sound a bit too much like a Christmas story, which is I have a bad habit of getting into. I haven't heard this yet with the new English horn part. Okay. I'm not too happy with that, but let me try one more time. You know what? I'm going to slow down the tempo just a touch. Just a touch. I'm a little iffy about that part here. Okay, looks like... Oh my gosh, I'm so done with my sound program. It keeps like messing up its sample rates. It's sample rapes. That's not the word I meant to use. Sample rates, santal rapes, whatever. It's all using all the wrong stuff. It's making me very annoyed. But whatever, it's what I'm dealing with. What I want to do here is I either want to accentuate these contra bassoon melodies with like a trombone, bass trombone. I also want to accentuate this tuba part, or use the tuba here in conjunction with these. I think I might need a second tuba for that, but that's fine. I'm okay with 2 tubas. But what I am trying to do is first perfect this part for you. So I'm not sure if I even want to keep. I'm not really happy with it right now. I think I'm trying to imagine in my mind a better arrangement for this melody. I'm not liking the clarinet very much. I put it in the clarinet like at 2 a.m. last night, like, oh, do something. I think English horn was a better fit, and the oboe, of course, very nicely carried it. Although the English horn, like, it is an alto oboe, which means it can play these nice low notes, but I'm thinking that maybe a bassoon would be a bit more fitting. But if I did do it in bassoon, then y'all would have to be in some places else, so I'm going to do some more moving yet, and I will... I was going to put you in the bassoon, and I understand it's going to be quite an ask, but I don't care. Now, can the bassoon lead into the English horn solo here? I think I'd like that more. Harmony here needs to be a bit more... like, the accompaniment needs to be a bit less busy, I think. instead of an English horn, can you be in a saxophone? Alto saxophone, I guess. Okay. Okay, I forgot that the default sax sound is absolutely deafening. Can you shut up? Alright. You've convinced me. Okay, I much prefer that saxophone sound. Let me put the saxophone down here where it belongs. Okay. So how did the alto sax not like that register in forte? I don't know. I'm not the one that programmed these instruments. I bet I could have done a better job. The Muse, like the Muse score, saxophone sounds are notoriously very squeaky. A little too squeaky. So we all wish that there were better saxophone sounds, but no one's making them. No one's making the better saxophone sounds. So. Okay, Muse score should hire you guys. I don't know if I've talked about this, like on a stream. I've definitely talked about it in my Discord server, but if I haven't talked about it on my stream, I'm gonna talk about it right now. So, hold on. There's a spreadsheet I need to pull up. Here's, you don't need to understand what this means. I'm just gonna show you to prove that I am doing something. Bang. Look at this. This is in a document called Shirgi Sounds, and you don't need to know what any of these numbers mean. Basically, you know, if you, I don't know how many people are going to know about this, but sound waves can be broken down into smaller waves using this fancy function called the Fourier transform, the custom VST you're making. The custom VST I want to make. I have no experience in doing this, but I wrote down a bunch of, basically what this is deconstructing a clarinet into its most basic math. And then I feel like, I just feel like there is a better way to synthesize instruments. Not, well, I will be using samples, but mostly for my own, like, basically to mold the synthesizer into what I want. Because the thing is, like, basically what this is a wavetable, but the thing is about wavetables, at least that I've seen, is that wavetables usually have like they have one knob or to go between the waveforms, right? So you start from one, you go to the other, and it like interpolates between them, right? But the thing is that real instruments and not just wavetables, they don't change timbre. They change timbre in more than one way. They change timbre based not only on dynamics but on the pitch, because instruments will sound a little bit different in their resonance depending on what range they're playing in. So like a bassoon playing in its lower range is not going to have the same kind of timbre as it would in its high range. But a synthesized bassoon doesn't know that, right? A bassoon that uses one or two samples doesn't know that. But the thing is about samples is that samples are difficult to interpolate between, which is why which is why MuseScore doesn't have things like glissandi and stuff like trombones and things like that. Partial is the word you're looking for. Sure. The thing is though that basically what I would need to do is that I need to create a parameter for dynamics, a parameter for pitch, and also one for vibrato, and those are three those are three settings. It's a three-dimensional wavetable. So I'm not exactly sure how I do it. I think I'll have to ask some smarter people than I am about it, but that's like the idea. But I'm probably not going to do that yet because I have to write music. I've got work to do. And then sleep. You have no idea how much I want a mocha right now. But I can't because I know if I did drink one, I would be up for another 6 hours. And that ain't no good because it's like 10 p.m. So, anyway. Ask Tantacruel, he probably doesn't know himself, but he can get you in touch with someone who does. I know it's not really Tantacruel's fault, but anytime we encounter any MuseScore problems, we always blame it on Tantacruel. He's like the president. Anytime anything ever goes wrong, we just blame him. Oh, MuseScore crashed again. If only Tantacruel had added in good saving. If only it added in good Muse sounds. Why hasn't Tantacruel added that yet? How is he ruining Muse sounds again? Anyway. If I... What happened? What does it sound like if I move the right hand up by an octave? It sounds a bit more like Brahms that way, I think at least. Just the spacing of the harmony feels a bit more like that. And when it was down low, it sounded a bit more unpolished. I don't really know how to describe it. I think splitting it up made it feel a little bit more mature in a way that I struggle to describe clearly. I need... What do I need? I play Battle Cats to improve my hands for the piano. Just be codename Red Riding today. Sure. I just had a mango browser refresher from Dunkin', very sweet and sour. I will now be up until 1:30 a.m. probably. There is a Dunkin' like a 2-minute walk away from my house, and it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. I love Dunkin' so much. Nice music as always. Thank you. I don't like it, which is what I'm trying to fix. I know every composer will tell you that, but man, there's something about it that I just can't put my finger on why I don't like it, which is what I'm trying to... That's all these streams are, really. Let me put you back down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you as reference, but I want to rewrite this. These guys, you can go in vibraphone, I don't know. Or maybe glockenspiel. No, glockenspiel doesn't like that. No, vibraphone doesn't like this. A6. Don't worry, I can put it down there. It's also too quiet. I don't... Something tells me that the vibraphonist is not going to like this. whatever, that's what you get for being a vibrator. I'm going to put this in the celesta so I can just focus on, like, I'll just for notation's sake so I can get an idea of what it used to be. But I'm a bit of a perfectionist with my music as well. I recently edited my second song because, not gonna lie, it was impossible to play and it was trash. I've gotten that criticism before of my own music, that it was impossible to play. And it's a very strange criticism to get. 'Cause I don't know, it just feels weird getting it, but ever do it on stream react / explain the music theory of why audience Discord suggested music sounds good special? I struggle to answer that because I mean, it's a good question, but I do have a problem with explaining why something is good. I hope you understand what I mean, but if you want me to, like, break down why something's, well, I don't know. That's not really my style. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've never done like a reacting to your musical compositions or anything because I don't really feel like I have anything to offer. I think people just want my advice because I'm the streamer, but I need you guys to understand that I have no training. This is my hobby. That doesn't mean I'm in any way qualified to judge your music. My opinion is as valuable as your neighbor's, which I guess is fine. Maybe I am too tired to music. Okay. Go to bed then, nerd. And practice your skills while you sleep. Because Ling Ling's ahead of you. And he's already participating in 3 competitions while you're Zing. So you better catch up. But, back on that train of thought, like, I'm okay with explaining, like, music theory concepts. I don't know if I would just straight up play music on stream and then talk about the theory of it, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not, I can't do that. I can't just listen to music and hear a cadence. I can't just listen to music and understand immediately what the theory behind it is, because that's just not the kind of, I'm not good at that. I really suck at that. I would need to have the score in front of me and then stare at it for like 20 minutes in order to understand what the heck's going on. So I'm not like a music theory breakdown channel that can just immediately hear something and go like, oh, that was a German sixth chord or something. I don't even know what a German sixth chord sounds like. So I can offer some pointers if you're trying to arrange your music for multiple instruments, because that's what I do. When it comes to harmonic analysis, I'm not too good at that, but you're more valuable because you are anime. That's true. That's why people need my opinion. They need anime validation. Sorry if I put you on the spot. It's fine. That's the risk I take as a streamer, isn't it? Anyway, like I said, I will be using this as a guideline, but okay, so let me break down why I don't like this. I think because I've sped up the tempo of this. This arrangement was written for a slower tempo, so when it was sped up, it sounds strange. I do like the melody sped up and the harmony sped up, but I don't like the way that it's arranged. So I'm going to go back and probably just make kind of the same general idea as this, but I need it to slow down. I need the accompaniment to feel slower. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to achieve that. I think the piano, because of its sustaining power, these bass notes feel a little heavier than they should be. Like when it's playing something like these notes, it's on the celesta right now, but when the piano was playing these with the sustain pedal on, because those notes were sustained, like it felt very heavy. Whereas here, because the pizzicato doesn't have very much sustaining power at all, like the bass notes kind of the thickness goes away pretty quickly, so it doesn't feel so heavy. Maybe that heaviness is good though, but I mean, I guess I won't really know until I write it out. So my idea is that I'm maybe gonna try and keep all of the bass note stuff down here in the cello, and then just have the piano arpeggiate along. Let me listen to this part first, not alone. Okay, well that isn't very bassy at all. I know you can't play that B. I don't care. Let me listen to it. That definitely sounded better up here. Specifically a choral harmonic music piece that I feel is doing cool stuff, but I don't have the words to describe it. I mean, personally, I think harmony is pretty simple. All of these symbols right here, they're just fancy ways of iterating the same thing over and over, and I mean, it's functional harmony. I've talked about this before, but to me, harmony is very simple, and I feel like a lot of YouTube videos overcomplicate it so that they can reach that 15-minute mark on their videos. But I'm gonna be so honest, like harmony is like the same two things happening. It's tension and then it's release, and everything else is just a fluffy way of building on top of that. So like all these symbols here, whatever this is, that's not a diatonic chord, it must be genius. I must have written it in a fever state when I had the spirit of Schoenberg possessing me, and I had all of his knowledge of harmony flood into my brain. That's absolutely not true, and I wish it was true, but instead, no, it's just three. Are you doing right? Piano? No. Why? B. When did I tell you that you could be here, B? Get out of here, B. Boom. What's he doing? Right. No, I'm okay with the way it was before. I quite like this second here. And I think I'll keep most of what the right hand was doing in the original. It was mostly the left hand with these fancy arpeggios that kind of irked me. No, hold up. Shut up, Celesta. Who said you could play? Where is she? I'm looking for your Celesta. Gotcha! There you are. And once again, I'm going to put you over G. Yeah, because we have the. I like that pattern. What's this? This wonderful accord here. I quite like this chord here, so I will keep it. And you here are a diminished chord. No, like this. Thank you. I was a little fond of this movement here in what's this? I want to keep this movement going with the thirds. I quite like that. No, do a something more akin to. No, 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 no. No. That's better. 7 should be C major or E. Yeah. I know music. I've written a little bit of it. Only a little bit. Someone there is incorrect. You C natural. I don't like that there. And I guess you just extend over to the end of the measure. Whoopsies. And I'm okay with this chord here. Can you play a little faster, pretty please? Thank you. And I shall have you... You don't really need to do a pedal on the sustained chorus, so I shall just have you stop pedaling here. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better. I like this more. Get out of here. And all this weird vibraphone stuff, you can go back in the Chalessa. Oh, that's right, I muted it. Come back to life, bro. You got some parts to play. You sound like an octave lower. This part, but on a horn. Octave up on horn. No, it sounds a bit too epic. Can I put you on, try this. Can you put, you're gonna have to be a bit louder than that, hun. Come on. A bit more vibrato, please, my friends. And I think I can get away with doing some sustain for you. You're the wrong kind of hook. Okay, the convention putting two horns in the same line, let one voice. I don't know why 1 and 3 and not 1 and 2. Okay, so I haven't actually looked into it that much, but hold on, where are you? So I'm pretty sure the horns are typically compressed together because there's just a lot of them. Like usually in a standard orchestra, there's like 2 flutes, 2 oboes, 2 clarinets, 2 bassoons, like usually. But horns, there can be like 4, 6. Some people ask for 8 or 12 horns, so they usually just get all squished together in one. And even in like larger orchestras, you'll notice like there's 1 track for 3 flutes, 1 track for 3 oboes. I call them track staves, or staff, I guess. But usually there's just like a bunch of horns. So, and you can thank Beethoven for that. He was very horny. And the reason I think that it goes 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 is because of the way they're sitting. There's like I don't know. The excuse was that it's because of the way that the horns are sat, but like they're in order to achieve the fullest sound, like just imagine here that just imagine here that these notes, like the notes of this chord were like 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of what horns we're playing. I think composers didn't quite like the way it was balanced because like the first horn would be the one that's heard the most, and then this note would be heard the second most, this note the third most, and this note would be like the least heard out of all of them. So I think to compensate, they made it so that like the first and third horn would play these 2 notes. So like the slightly more distant horn would play like the note, and then like the second. And I don't know. I think that's the excuse. I just kind of stick to it because of convention, and I suppose it's not a bad reason. It's just kind of a strange one. And also, I think because of this, horns 1 and 3 are usually the ones playing the high notes, and then horns 2 and 4 are like mostly specialized in the lower notes of the horns range, which the horn can go pretty darn low. So I play those notes. I think that's the reason. I'm not entirely like 100% sure about that, but I don't think that's wrong necessarily. It might just be a bit inaccurate. You know what? Why are we even... I have the internet at Wikipedia. Why don't we even look up for this? Let me just look up French horn. Anything about double horn, detachable bell, Vienna horn, mellophone. The mellophone is very awesome. Look at it. How beautiful. It's like violin 1 and 2. Kind of. Wagner tuba. Sure. Solo repertoire, chamber music, in jazz, bass clef. That didn't tell me anything about why it's maybe orchestral order or notation. Music. No. That's not how Does Korsakov have any say about this? Composition of the orchestra? No. Economy and orchestral color? Sure. String harmony, harmony and brass, harmony combined groups. Just skip to the brass one. Formation of the brass instrument like that or the one was not absolutely uniform and varies in different scores. The brass group may be divided into 6 or 8 horns. That's a lot of horns. Peter, hold on, I'm like skimming through this right now. Stuff about Wagner, something about the middle 19th century. Brass instruments are so similar in range and timbre that the discussion of register is unnecessary. Thanks, Korsakov. An instrument is soft, protocol, and full of beauty. It doesn't lower just no, that's not helpful. Okay, well, unless not what I read didn't have anything about why there are multiple horns in one staff, but a musical instrument the other day and that sounded like an idealized brass instrument, but it was too low pitched to be real. It was contrabass. I mean, there's the kimbasso, which is essentially a contrabass trombone, which is a brass instrument, and I believe MuseScore does in fact have a patch for it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there you can see here Muse sounds, kimbasso, or I don't know if I'm saying that. I'm gonna be jimbasso. I can prove it's a trombone like this. That's the lowest note it will let me do. And compare it to the tuba, which apparently won't let me play that note. It's too. Oh wait, that's the timpani. Never mind. I just saw a T and I thought it was the tuba. I mean, you're not super dissimilar, but then again, we are in the lower range, so it's gonna kind of sound the same. Let me clear that up a little bit. What if I make you guys play a little bit quieter? Okay, well, you kind of sound the same, but that's besides the point. Again, it's essentially a contrabass trombone, which I don't think unfortunately, I don't have. I love the tuba's ability to sound like distant thunder. No, if you want thunder, you need a thunder sheet. That's the correct instrument to project the sound of thunder. It's in the name, really. Why is it called a thunder sheet? Because it sounds like thunder. I know thunder sheet sounds like something like, what's his name? I was about to say Rick Beato, but that's the wrong guy. I was Justin Roiland. That's something that would have come up for Rick and Morty. But no, it's a real instrument. And it sounds like thunder. Where is it? There you are. You weren't ready for that, were you? Apparently there's a slide technique. What does that sound like? That's pretty cool. What about small? Oh, wait. Stop sliding. Okay, it kind of sounds like a less round, not round. It sounds like a less resonant tam-tam. Which is pretty cool. It has a little bit more high end than a tam-tam does. A tam-tam is a little bit more mid, I think. The tam-tam, of course, is very... No, I'm not gonna say that. That's thunder close up. I mean, you can also play it quietly. And I think my patch will at least allow me to tremolo. Isn't that a wonderful sound? The orchestra is really lacking on on plain white noise sounds. Which is actually a very cool effect, but probably not something I need right now. Maybe later on. Man, my feet are tired, probably from all the walking I did today. I'm gonna have to put them in a bowl of ice. Okay. Right. Music. I was writing it. I put the melody in the vibraphone. That's right. That's what happened. Lines. More frequent pedaling going on here. Does music have wind machine or aelophone? Maybe. Wind machine. It has winds. Oh, like woodwinds. I was like, what do you mean winds? Like controlling the winds? No, it's just, it has a lot of wind chimes though. Metal, glass, shell, bamboo, wooden. What? The, the what? The Quangari. I said that correctly. Korean dish-like gong. I gotta know what this is now. And how to pronounce it correctly. Okay. It's kind of tiny. Uh-huh. There it is. Is it gonna tell me how to pronounce it? It has a Korean pronunciation. I don't know how to read that, unlike all of you nerds that apparently know how to, because I know all of you are gonna tell me how to pronounce it now. Such a cute pan lid. This is what it looks like it is. And what are you playing it with? It looks like you're holding it. Oh, it looks like it was breaking apart, but no, it just has some kind of fibers on it. Small flat gong. It is made of brass and is played with a hard stick. It produces a distinctly high-pitched metallic tone that breaks into cymbal-like crashing timbre when struck forcefully. Okay. Wooden mallets. Commonly, wait, yeah. The instrument is commonly used in folk performing arts in Korea. Okay. Well, that's not what we're looking for. It would probably be in percussion unpitched, wouldn't it? The wind machine. I don't know if I'm gonna find it here though. Slit drum. Opera gong. That makes that different than like another gong. Wind gong. Iron pipes. The jing. Large Korean gong. Okay. But none of these are what we want. In fact, the thunder sheet isn't even on here. Wait, then where's the thunder sheets? Oh, there it is. It's not in alphabetical order. I don't somehow I didn't notice that. I like how these are in a separate they're not in they're not in unpitched or pitched percussion. They get their own special category of marching cymbals. As opposed to, you know, other kinds of cymbals. These ones are specifically for marching. You know, the other snare drums that are definitely not like the other snare drums that are specifically for marching. And also slap. Where's thigh slap? I'm seeing I mean, there's slap, but where's thighs? Yazoo. Okay, I'm gonna fix my posture a little bit. I'm gonna move on to the next part here. Because I don't like this. I think this might be better played with saxophones. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word for some reason. That means I would need another saxophone though, and I don't know if the soprano sax can play this. I would like another saxophone though. I like how it lists alto saxophone under common instruments. Is it as common as a bassoon? I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. Maybe in pop music, I guess. That's not, I don't really know if that's what music are like is their target audience though, is those who write pop music. The alto sax sound is notoriously loud, so I'm turning it down like that's mezzo forte and I've had to turn it down more than 6 decibels, so I'm thinking I'm gonna need a little bit louder here in the tuba. Can you be quiet so maybe let the tuba have a bit more space? No, I don't really like that. I want it to keep moving. Okay, well, music score just there. I need to get my sound checked. Okay, just... It'll let me play individual instruments, but once I play them all together, it's like, bro, what are you asking of me? What am I transmitting this music across the universe? Why is it so difficult for you to play? Why is this happening? No, it's okay here. What happened here? Oh, now it's fine. Oh, of course it is. Thanks, Tantacruel. I blame you again. Bro, which one of you is causing this issue? I'm getting so annoyed. Why is it doing this? Oh my gosh. This is why I need my own sound program, because MuseScore is like, oh, you want to write for orchestra? That's really funny. Why would you want to do that? Which one of you is causing this problem? It's all of you together. It just doesn't want to... Here, let me try just reloading this. I've had a lot in the past caused by voice meter. I mean, maybe the thing is, like, it seems to be like a... I don't know. Do I need like a new version of it? There's like, as far as I know, there's like no other... There's no other program that does what this guy does. Which really ticks me off. But... Because the only other solution then is just to either use some weird open source GitHub thing, which will have the worst UI I've ever seen in my entire life, or I'll have to make my own, which will be even worse than that. So... whatever. Don't do a decrescendo here, just wait. Only like the Go XLR, the same thing with physically. Didn't they discontinue the Go XLR though? Like, I think if they still made them, I might have already known about it and gotten it. I thought they discontinued the Go XLR. I'm getting another tuba in here. What a beautiful sound. You guys are gonna have to be a little bit quieter though, given that the contrabassoons are not loud enough to outplay tubas. Surprise, surprise. I'm gonna have to have you guys shut up. That's way too loud. I do have all the entire string group playing that. Oh, okay. Oh, there she is again. My good old friend. Oh my gosh. Unstoppable in the way you just did. CPU was too weak for it, and audio basically got out of proper sync. I was thinking maybe it might be because of, I'm pretty sure yeah, everything on my end is okay. I'm thinking it might be because of like some sample rate stuff that I messed around with earlier. Not that this problem has been happening before, but it's happening even more frequently now, which is just unacceptable. But because I'm pretty sure I have everything set to the same sample rate. In fact, I'm pretty sure Voicemeter tells you that. Here. Yeah, look at that, 48,000 or 48 kilohertz. And everything else here is like, yep, we're playing at 48 kilohertz. And everyone agrees we're playing at 48 kilohertz. But no, 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 you just have to be so special. And I don't know how else to fix this. And I'm thinking this is a sample rate issue because it sounds like a sample rate issue. But I don't know why it would spontaneously change its sample rate. Standard 44.1 kilohertz. Yes and no. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if MuseScore standard is 44.1 kilohertz and that's why it's not working. Because if I just like listen to like a YouTube video at 96 kilohertz, it's perfectly fine. But like when I boot up MuseScore, it's like bleh, bleh. I don't get it. Maybe in Windows, maybe that would actually make a lot of sense. Because Microsoft is stupid. I bet if I ran this on like an Apple computer, I could run it at 192 kilohertz and be swimming in it. But here on Windows, I might have to revert to the stupid old sample rate. You know, will that mess up my entire OBS audio setup? I'm curious now. I kind of want to try. Everyone go to 44,100 now. You didn't change at all. You're just a liar. I think if I change my Focusrite settings, which is this guy here, if I change you to be nope. I am monitoring myself, yep. All of these guys changed. What about you, MuseScore? Nope, you still don't like that. Well, okay, well, I can at least try restarting you. Bleh. 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 That's my reaction. I'm waiting. I'm waiting so long for this. Okay, now it just refuses to play. That's a good sign. There's no buffer size. That's probably fine, right? Okay. Going into my system settings real quick. This better work this time. I'm waiting for that beautiful sample to load. Yippee. Now if you break on me again, I think I'm just gonna go lay down. Be a little bit louder, and you know what, Violas, you just get to do nothing. I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen here. I just kind of wrote this in because it sounded cool. I like where it's going, and I kind of want to attach it to another project, but I'm just gonna go lay down. Thanks for